up, everyone? This is Johnny, and welcome to episode 102 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. I am here in Southern California, actually at David Vu's apartment. He was the guy from the eBay Dropshipping course a couple episodes ago, actually almost 20 episodes ago. And it's crazy because I interviewed him on the podcast, and then I talked to him a bunch just online. I never met him until yesterday, but I've actually been staying at his condo here in Anaheim, California, near Disneyland for the past week. And even though I had never met him, so he had just reached out to me and he said, "Hey, if you ever come to LA, just let me know. I have a place you can stay." And I was like, I actually am going to go to LA to go see some family and then pick up my new Thai visa. And I was like, if you don't mind, I would love to do that. And what's really cool is being here, just hang out with him and meeting him finally in person. I got to meet a bunch of his friends who are all entrepreneurs as well as a lot of his students who went through his dropshipping course. So as we're hanging out here, David introduced me to three of his buddies. Let me quickly introduce you to today's guests. We have Rudy Vera, Pablo Perez, and Ric Ramirez. You guys want to say what's up real quick?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Ric Ramirez, backgrounds in construction, do a little bit of Airbnb hosting, and as well some drop shipping.
Hey, everybody, it's Pablo Perez, business owner and drop shipper.
Everybody, it's Rudy Vera. Background is construction, and I am drop shipping with David Vu.
All right, so the first thing that people are probably wondering is why is everyone Hispanic? David's Vietnamese, right? Is he?
Yes, sir.
So, what was it about him, or actually, how did you find him, and why did you connect with him?
Well, this is Pablo Perez, and actually, I've known David from a previous industry that we were in, relationship marketing, and that's where we got a chance to know each other. And then the funny thing is, I met him then, and we hung out here and there. But one of the things that happened was we kind of went our separate ways. I decided to actually do drop shipping, believe it or not, so do some business online because I saw the potential to make money on e-commerce. But I couldn't figure out the game. I didn't understand it. And since we had lost contact, we were friends on Facebook. I started seeing him post all his sales that he was doing online. And then I approached him, I hit him up, and he said, "Hey, I'm still trying to figure this thing out." But he was already making money. And then he ended up putting the course together. I enrolled immediately, and that's how we, ended up reconnecting on as far as our relationship.
Yeah, I actually asked him in the car on the way to dinner why he started making all these courses, because as we speak, he's upstairs in the condo right now filming another course, and this one is on how to start an Airbnb business, because this guy's kind of like a serial entrepreneur. Him and a couple of buddies of his, which I guess are also his business partners now, they rented out 6 Airbnb condos, so 6 different apartments, and in each one of them, you can, basically he is making like a full-time living from just that part of his life. But what's really cool is that he also has the eBay dropshipping business. He has his gift cards business. He has all these things, and he never really bothered to learn to teach it because it was always something that he would do kind of for himself. But what it was his friends on Facebook and other places started seeing how successful he was, and he said what really sparked it was when someone offered to fly him out to, I forgot where it was in the U.S. It was like somewhere, Colorado or something, and say, "Hey, can you teach my son how to do this?" And he was like, "Man, I guess people really want to learn this." So that's why he made the course. And Ric, how'd you get started with this?
Well, the way I got started was I met David same way as Pablo did through a previous venture in a network marketing company. And me and him just got off to a really good friendship, a really good start. And we started fishing together a lot. And from fishing, me and him were hanging out like a few times a day. If anybody knows David, they know he loves fishing anywhere he goes. And firsthand, I got to see him working his businesses, like you said, his his gift card business. I'd go with him sometimes when he'd make some of his transactions or, you know, some of his deals. And I got to see him start when he first started drop shipping, and just firsthand watch him develop and grow his business. And I'd be next to him fishing, and, you know, his phone would be going off, and I'd be hearing all these sales coming in on eBay. And I'm like, what's going on here, you know? But I was just, you know, the whole time I was just there, you know, observing and, you know, just hanging out, and I was soaking it all in. And then one day he just was like, hey, I'm going to develop a course on how to do this. And I was like, man, I'll be the first one to sign up, man, because I firsthand see this going on, and I've been watching you do it. So I know this is legit. Like, this is for reals. And that's how I got involved.
You know, what's funny about that is even till today, he still has that same ringtone where every time he gets an eBay sale, it goes to ching. And I actually thought it was kind of annoying, like, because it goes off so often now. Because, you know, with eBay, like, you make, I mean, like on average, how many sales can you make a day with that?
You know, for me, I think the most sales I made in a day was about 12, you know, but probably on average about 4 or 5 sales is what I'm averaging right about now. And I love that ringtone.
And I think he's making a lot more, I think he's a lot more stores. He's like a lot more scaled up. So it seemed like it was going off all the time. And in my mind, I was kind of, at first I was like, man, like, if you're making that many sales, you might as well just turn it off, you know, because it's almost kind of just, you know, what's going to happen. But at the same time that I thought about it, I was like, why am I hating on him? You know, like it makes him happy, it makes him proud. Like,
some people like the sound of cha-ching.
Yeah, people just like that money, right? And you know what? All props for that. And it's funny that you mentioned that story, because the reason why I got into dropshipping, and I don't dropship on eBay, but I also do like a dropshipping model. And the way I really got intrigued was when I was hanging out with my buddy Anton, and we were watching, you know, funny cat videos or something on his laptop, and he kept getting these like notifications popping up. You know, the ones you see like in the bottom right hand of your computer, where it would say like, you just, you know, like, you made a new sale for $300, you made a new sale for $400. I was like, are you making money while we're just hanging out and kicking it? And he was like, oh yeah, like, and he didn't even notice anymore because it's just so common. And I think you're absolutely right. Where when we hang out with friends and we just do things that we like doing, whether it's fishing or watching YouTube videos, and we see their life is set up where they can make money while doing those hobbies, that's when the light goes off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me and David would be out there fishing, trying to land, you know, a small shark off the pier, catching some mackerel, and I hear his phone start going off, and I'm over here trying to reel the fish up. So it's he's having fun. I'll tell you that much, and he's definitely, you know, generating that income, and that was definitely for me something that I wanted to follow and wanted that mentorship from him, you know.
Yeah, I think that's cool that, like, you know, his first students were his friends, so he wasn't just trying to sell to people, you know, online and just to make a quick buck. You know, he was like, oh, you know, if I make this, then my friends and my family can learn from it. And it was funny. We just had Peruvian food for dinner, and there was, you know, almost 10 of us at the table. And he said, not only are these like not only is this my girlfriend next to me, and these are all my friends, but all of them are also students, and they all have eBay stores.
That's, you know, it's funny because I remember I read a book called The 4-Hour Workweek. It was the white version, not the newer version, the updated version. That's where I learned or found out about drop shipping. And I tried figuring it out. You know, like I said, on my own. This guy just picked it up, mastered it, and I was just like, teach me. Like, I'll take my money. Right now, I'm currently waiting for the VA course that he's developing. But, you know, following the simple model that he has, you know, it's amazing the amount of money that you can make without actually having to do any physical labor work. And when I read that in the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, it almost seems like that's too good to be true, to be able to have a 4-hour schedule and to be able to generate a full-time income. But with the model that he created and the way he teaches the course, it's a reality, man. It's something that can come true for anybody.
So speaking of manual labor, one of you guys mentioned that you guys are doing construction.
That's right. I'm in construction. I've been in construction for about 9 years now.
So how does that feel, like, you know, because that's a tough job, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I guess this is a 2-part question. First is, in general, most people that do construction aren't super tech savvy. So was that hard to get into this online world? And then the second part, I guess, would be, now that you are on this online world, like, doesn't it feel so different than what you do for your day job?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a little tech savvy, but you hit it right on the nail. I'm not the brightest when it comes to that kind of stuff. And David definitely dumbed it down to where anyone could really do it. All you really need is a computer and, like, you know, email address and stuff, and to set up to do it. And that was simple for me. And And as far as being out in the field, I'll be out there, just going hard at work, sweating, and I'm just like really like so much easier to generate the income at home when I'm there, on my computer, processing some orders. And the best feeling for me is when I'm out there in the field and I'll get a sale while I'm working. That's the best feeling, because I know that I'm generating other income while I'm out here trying to, on my normal, 9-to-5 job.
I think a lot of people that hasn't even sunk in for a lot of people, where you have your normal hourly wage or your salary wage. So that's what you're going to be making. And there's not really, and I think that's the hard part for most people, is if they make $3,000 a month, or they make $36,000 a year, or, whatever it is, it could be more than that. They can't really double that. There's no way to double that, right? Like, you can try to get a raise. You can ask your boss, like, hey, can I get, 10%? And which would be great, and he'll laugh at you. He'll be like, how? Yeah, he'd be like, maybe you'll get 1% raise. You'll get like, 2.5. Yeah, and it's. But then with having a separate business, especially something that you can set up so it's either automated or passive, or at least even if it's semi-passive, you can make another sale or another income while you're working that job. Essentially, you've doubled your income.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you mentioned you can't really double your income with normal jobs that a lot of us hold, 9 to 5s. I work 6 to 2, but same thing, right? The same thing. And the only way you can double your income, and this is from experience, is working more hours. Well, what happens when you work more hours? You don't get to come home to your kids or your family. You don't get that extra time. You find yourself, filling up your whole day to make that extra money. And, I have a lot of coworkers that, they'll make 6 figures, but, they'll slave away their weekends. And that's the only way to make more money if you're working a normal job.
That's crazy. So, Rudy, we haven't heard from you yet. What is your day job? How'd you get into all this?
My day job, my background, actually, I'm going to start off with that. I was in construction. Actually, met Rick in the same construction field. That's where we kind of got together at first. And basically, David, I met David through Rick, actually, through, like he said, relationship marketing, networking company. And at first, Rick was telling me that David has something going on, he's working on. So knowing David and knowing the leader that he was and is, I was pretty kind of interested in what he was getting himself into, looking at his posts that he was posting on Facebook and whatnot. I mean, me myself, I never figured that I would even have the time to do anything extra with my schedule. I'm raising 3 beautiful girls at home. Being a father is a lot of work in itself, but the simplicity that David makes it allows you to do this type of business no matter how busy your schedule is. I work an 8-hour shift. I come home, and the first thing that when I do get home is, tend to my daughters, because all they want is attention. I have a 4-year-old, I have a 3-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old. So they're pretty close in age, so you can imagine how much attention they need. But this type of business, like I said, it's so great that you hardly have to spend any time. I honestly, I spend an hour a day. I just work on my dropshipping business, and from there it's been accumulating. I've been doing it since April. 6 months later, more like 8 months later, my business has grown triple since when I started. And the ability to make money while sleeping, like Rick was saying, when you're working, playing with my kids, making money, hearing that cha-ching, that's the greatest feeling in the world.
Best part is waking up in the morning and you already got sales. And you're like, wow, yeah, just made money overnight,
Exactly.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So, I mean, I'm sure it's not as easy as everyone's making it sound, right?
Well, no, it's not. It takes work because, I have a traditional business. I stepped away from relationship marketing to start a traditional business, and it's a lot of work. I got to go out there and get sales constantly. So I'm spending 40 hours a week chasing the customer or looking for potential customers. So that's the reason why I was looking for something that I can leverage. Because in the 4-hour work week, that's the one thing that I understood is like, if you can leverage out your work and still generate an income, that's ideally what, the lifestyle is. And I've always seen, from network marketers, they always post the pictures of them at the beach, make money while you're hanging out at the beach. And you see a lot of online marketers, affiliate marketers that do that also. They post the pictures. I don't know. It's hard to believe whether they're making money or not, but it at least planted the seed for me to say, hey, maybe there is a way to do it. So when I read the book, it made sense. And I said, I guess there is a way to do it. I still had to start a traditional business because I didn't want to go back to a job. I've been job free for the last 4 years. I love the fact that I don't have to work for anybody, but I still got to chase, people. I still got to go out and look for business. Dropshipping allows for you to be able to list whatever you'd like, and it's a learning curve. So I still suggest for anybody who wants to learn dropshipping, it's important that you still have some kind of an income coming in while you're learning it. So you work your 9 to 5 to sustain your life, but then you work on your wealth for an hour or two a day so that you can generate or replace that income somewhere down the road, So dropshipping, I think, was one of the things that I think, you can leverage big time.
I'm really glad all of you guys are doing this eBay course and not network marketing still, because honestly, I wouldn't have you guys on the show if you guys were still doing that. I mean, just out of curiosity, like what type of, I'm assuming network marketing is like multi-level marketing. Like, what were you guys actually doing, and what made you? Are you still doing it now, and what made you switch?
Well, myself, we were doing multi-level marketing. I don't have anything against it. I think it's a great place, starting point for all entrepreneurs. Definitely just to open up your eyes and open up your mind to knowing that there's other ways to make income. Really, to be honest, for myself, just Rick, that's what opened me up to know that there's other ways of income. And then the people that I met there, David was one of them. I saw all these other sides to make income, and it just really freed my mind. Having that mentorship, for me, it's what helped out. And then from there, I was able to know, hey, you know what, I could step into another way of doing things. And I stepped away from that now just because I know for me that I can generate income in a way where I can be working from home per se, and really be at home, doing what I have to do to generate these sales and income. And I don't have to go far. I don't have to go, to meet up with people and chase sales, like Pablo was saying. Yeah, it really is up to me to make my business grow. And if I don't put in the work, then I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get the results that I want.
So Rudy and Pablo, are you guys still doing network marketing?
No, I've actually stepped away from network marketing a while back. I started with selling some type of an insurance. I did it for 5 years. I was sold the dream. It was my first company that I started with. The education honestly was the best thing that I got out of it, because that's what, opened the doors for me to look and seek for more information. That's the only reason I ran into the 4-hour work week, down the road. But, so I took a step back after 5 years. They said, if you've invested 5 years of your time in a network marketing company and you're not making no money, it's time to maybe change careers. I made money with the company. I made maybe $30,000 or $40,000 a year, but man, I had to deal with chargebacks. I had to deal with constantly motivating unmotivated people. I had to go to meetings. People don't tell you about network marketing expenses, because they say, oh, the average person wants to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. What they don't tell you is you're going to spend about $300 a month in meetings, auto ship product, and things of that nature. So really, you're only net profiting $200. For all the work that I'm doing, for $200 is really worth it. After 5 years, I stepped back. I went to a traditional job, and I had to refocus. And I was like, I need to figure something out. I did the job only because I needed an income, like I said, to sustain my life. But then I was reintroduced to a skincare company. It was a ground floor opportunity. I took advantage of the opportunity and I ran with it. But the problem that I ran into was I found myself doing the exact same thing. The only thing that changed was the product. Other than that, I had to continue to go out there and look for prospects. I had to continue to go to meetings, not including the meetings I had to, coordinate at the people's homes. But I was traveling to Texas, to Arizona, to Nevada. And after I was doing the math, after about a year's time, I built a pretty large organization. I was making about $4,000 to $6,000 a month, which is not bad in network marketing. But then, when an organization starts to fall apart, so does your income. And then you have to try to replace that. And sometimes you're just like, you know what? I don't even know if it's worth it. There's got to be a better way, you know? And that's why I was always in search. While I was doing the last company is when I was actually introduced to the 4-hour work week. I read that book, and that's, again, dropshipping. I was like, what is dropshipping? I started Googling it and trying to understand it. But network marketing is a great place to get an education, but you always have to be on. You cannot just, it's hard to explain, because when I see the network marketers, they always take their vacations. They just don't answer their phones. And what they say is they're busy or whatever, but they're really on a vacation. When they come back from the vacation, they post the pictures that they were gone, because if they let their team know that they're on vacation, their team will stop working. And that's the reason. And that's not true leverage. You know, true leverage is being able to generate income or money, you know, while you sleep. And you can't do that. It's kind of like you got to take a vacation on a secret. Like, it's got to be a secret, you know? And I used to do that. I was like, I can't tell them that I'm going to be gone. I remember I won an incentive trip to Cancun. Well, everybody knew because the company announced it. Well, while I was in Cancun, my volume in the organization just tanked because I wasn't calling them. I wasn't motivating them. I wasn't telling them, hey, I wasn't in the field with them. So that's the reason why network marketing is a great place to start, but I think not the best place to finish.
Same here. I could so relate to Pablo. I mean, just the understanding of having to work with unmotivated people, constantly trying to bring them up to where you're trying to be at and helping them, but they're not really helping themselves. I understand what you're saying, but like Pablo was saying and Rick was saying, network marketing, from what I got from it is the knowledge of and the education of having a business mindset. It's just a whole different way of thinking, a whole different way of realizing there's not only just a 9-to-5 job that you can make an income. You can make an income just by doing these different types of ventures. Even Warren Buffett himself says you can't really rely on one source of income. It takes multiple incomes, you know, to create a fortune. Your 9-to-5 job, you're just really, to me, you can't really get ahead. Me being a father of 3, it's really hard to get ahead with my time schedule, and that's the reason why I dropped out of relationship marketing myself, because I found out that just the time dedication that you have to put in, and I can't really take my 3 little girls with me all the time. You know, it's Pablo understands. I got
a cool story. So I sat down with a friend of mine. She's still in relationship marketing. And I asked her, how much money are you making right now? So we sat down, we went over her finances, because I own a credit restoration company and I help people with the finances. So we went over their financials, and as we were going over their financials, I saw how much money she was bringing in with the network marketing company. And I said, okay, so you go to, I see your work ethic. I've, gone and, tried guiding this person. I see your work ethic. I see how much time you're putting. When I break it down, you're making a total of $600 to $900 a month. The amount of hours that you're putting in, you're making about 25 cents an hour. It's ridiculous. People don't realize that. And it's something that, it's not talked about, obviously, because it's all a lifestyle that they try to sell. And I have nothing against network marketing. It's just not for me anymore. It's kind of like the eyes and the blinds have been lifted and I can see it. But when I broke it down, this person was just like, I'm making 25 cents an hour. I said, now let me ask you this. You've missed all the birthday parties. You've missed all the soccer events. You've missed all these important events in your family, because you're out there chasing the dream and you're only making 25 cents an hour. Here's my question to you. Is 25 cents an hour worth you missing all these opportunities to be with your family?
Definitely not. And you know what? One other thing, that the reason why I never got into network marketing or any kind of relationship marketing or MLM, whatever you want to call it, is I never felt comfortable selling to my friends or my family. And I think even if it was a good product, so the only time I ever even went to an event, it was for Cutco knives, and it was when I was pretty young. I was probably like 18 or 19. Yeah, I saw an ad saying, make $25 an hour or $50 an hour. And it was near my house. I went there and I was in this room with 30 guys or 30 people. And they said, welcome to Cutco. This is what we're going to do. And right away, I knew it just wasn't for me, just because I don't know if it was the way I was brought up, where I was like really afraid to ask people for things or like approach my family. But do you guys feel that being in network marketing has, hurt your personal relationships with friends or family members at all?
For me personally, I don't feel like it has, but I can see where in some cases, some people it may, just because, you're, the first people that you hit in network marketing, you go after your friends and family, right? You go after your warm market. And I can see where some people are really trying to sell, believe in the product right at the get. They're on fire. They got that mentality. They really want to get their friends involved, and we're all going to make $1 million. Let's get in on this. Let's go right now. But, after that fire calms down and you start to see the bigger picture, I can see where some people might do that. Yeah, definitely.
I know personally from experience, I've lost friends, I guess, per se. There's a big thing in network marketing there. If you're a part of an organization and you end up going to another company, oh my gosh, you're like crucified basically, you're the bad guy. And then out of that, people end up getting hurt, so I've lost some friends. I have some family who, because I was trying to sell them a product and I would tell them, hey, if you don't join my company, what are you're doing with your life? What ends up happening is then they eventually start thinking, well, you think you're better than me. And then they kind of shun you away. And then you can even hurt like those relationships with your family, cause it's happened to me. I've unfortunately I've gone through that. And that's why you're in constant recruit mode. You're constantly prospecting new people because you can't go back. And it's if you join another company and then you come back, they all look at you and, that they're saying, oh, what's he going to try to sell me now? And you know what? I feel comfortable now because now I can go up to my friends and genuinely want to hang out with them, knowing that I'm not asking for anything in return. Like I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to pitch you anything. Even with this eBay dropshipping course, I've had some friends say, so what is this thing that you're doing online? I'm like, man, I don't even want to tell you about it right now, bro. Let's just hang out and have a good time. And then, somewhere down the road, if they want to still know about it, I'll introduce them to the course and I'll leverage the course because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to sell them something or recruit them or bring them on board and spend money. That's the beauty of dropshipping is really, I actually read this today. It's a very nice quote. It says, it's easier to sell to strangers than it is to your friends and your family. It's way easier to sell to strangers than it is to your friends and your family. And guess what you're doing on eBay? You're selling to strangers because you don't know any of these people. And they'll gladly buy from you. And they'll leave you a 5-star review. Your family sometimes won't even give you a 5-star review in your face,
Your family's your biggest critics. That's the truth. But I can so relate to Pablo and Rick. Just relationship-wise, family. There was a point where I couldn't even call certain family members because they will tell me, what are you trying to sell me now? What are you trying to sell me now? Even though my real intention was to say, how's it going? What have you been up to? It's just certain people, they take offense when they feel or they think that you're trying to sell them something. So that was the whole difficulty in my experience is losing that relationship with certain family members just based off of me trying to open up an opportunity that I seen in my eyes that, could make all of us money. But not everybody thinks that way. And, I was fine with that. You kind of realize who's there to lift you up and who's there to bring you down. So it's a learning experience. You know who's rooting you on and who's not. But on the other side, I've met pretty amazing people in relationship marketing. If it wasn't for relationship marketing, I would never have met David Vu. Just that in itself, the opportunities that come across my way just because I met David Vu through relationship marketing, it's just brought a whole different perspective and it brought me to a whole different way of thinking. And you know what? I appreciate what relationship marketing has taught me. I learned from it. I grew from it. And it's the leadership that I seen David Vu in while I met him in relationship marketing through that different venture. is I realized of how great of a leadership that he had and leadership skills. And in myself, I kind of picked up on those skills myself, leadership skills, how having to motivate people and work with different types of people in different backgrounds. So it's a love and hate relationship.
You know, I'm really glad all of you guys kind of brought this up, because especially now that I've met you guys and kind of heard the story of how you guys went from there to where you are now, I can see that, you know, when people get into network marketing or multi-level marketing, they do it with good intentions. You know, they do it because they want a better life for their family or for themselves. They want to do something different. And I think it's unfortunate that it also has all the downsides that we just mentioned, you know, that it damages relationships with your family and your friends. And you guys all sounded like, you know, you guys were just genuinely excited, and you're like, man, I know there's something better than making, you know, $10 an hour, or, you know, doing, you know, whatever normal people do. I know there's a way where we can have our own business, that we can, you know, use sweat equity, and we can work harder, and we can, you know, make money for ourselves and really have something. And it sucks because with, you know, with network marketing, often it's like, it's not I don't know. It's kind of like a weird path where maybe it wasn't the best product to sell. You know, the product itself might not have been the best thing in the world. I don't know how good Cutco knives are. I assume they're pretty decent, but at the same time, I'm sure most people that buy them don't really need new knives. You know, maybe they could have bought one chef's knife instead of a set of 50 knives. You know, and it would have been, you know, better for their needs, or whatever it is. But what's nice about kind of hearing your stories is knowing that people out there, people in network marketing, or people that want to get into it, they just want to be entrepreneurs. It's not that they want to be network marketers. It's not that they want to be relationship marketers. It's that is the only alternative they know besides working a normal traditional job. And I think that's what's so cool about all this knowledge we have now about being an entrepreneur. Even on this podcast, you know, now we're at 102 episodes. We've had, you know, 80 different business models of people making money, doing all sorts of different things, not only selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, or through traditional drop shipping, or selling on Etsy, or, you know, selling on Kindle, whatever it is. There's so many ways to do it now where people actually have a choice, where they can say, do I still want to do network marketing, or do I actually want to, you know, do my own thing?
Even in network marketing, like when you're making money, the one of the flaws that I see in network marketing is number one, they don't teach you how to manage your money, because you think it's going to come in forever. Number one. Number two, they don't teach you how to diversify. It's the constant preaching on the stage is, you know, the company all in. I get it for the top 1 or 2%. It definitely makes sense why you would say that from stage, but why are you not taking the time to let people know? If you're gonna be promoting a book like Robert Kiyosaki that talks about, you know, leveraging your time and multiple streams of income, why would you not teach your people who are making money how to diversify their income so their money can work for them? Because in network marketing, your paycheck is only as good as the size of your organization and the number of sales that come in just through that route. But nobody's teaching you how to take that money and then put it into like an online business that can also generate you some income, or diversify in some other way. I think that's a big flaw in that industry. They don't preach that. They don't teach that.
I almost think of it as almost kind of like cultish, where they want to just like teach you this little portion of what's going to make them money, what's going to keep them happy, what's going to keep you inside. They don't want you thinking too much outside the box. And kind of what you said earlier about, you know, how the good thing about network marketing was that you got all this education. And I think that is a great first step. But I think the problem with that education is it's so narrow, where how you just mentioned, you know, they don't really want you thinking too much for yourself. They want you to just hustle hard for them and not really think about anything else. So you are getting education, but you're getting it. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like going to school and they're not teaching you like evolution, you know? They're just saying like, this is the way this happened, and that's all we want you to know.
I mean, yeah, they definitely teach you to dream bigger and, you know, have set yourself higher goals and all that. But it's, you know, saying like you're going to do it through us. And with myself, I was fortunate enough that I met David. And like I said, we became really, you know, he's one of my best friends now. And I was fortunate enough that he's mentored me and he helped me see different, you know, different doors and open, you know, help me just see different things differently. You know, growing up myself, my parents always wanted me, what they say, go to school, go to college, get a good job. And so what? So I saw my friends, you know, go in debt 50, 60 grand trying to pay off, you know, all their school, right? Well, I didn't want to do that. You know, that wasn't for me. I didn't like school. You know, even though I did end up in an apprenticeship, you know, I'm a pipe fitter and I did go to 5 years of somewhat schooling. I was out there working my way up, you know, through my apprenticeship. But I knew that there was more to it than to make, you know, I wanted to make more money. As selfish as that may sound, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think a lot of us think it is, but there's nothing wrong with making more money and wanting to better things for yourself or your family and better your life. And I always wanted that. And I was fortunate that, you know, being mentored by David, I was able to see all these other opportunities and I was able to become a part of it. You know, I'm really thankful for that.
Yeah, I think it's incredible. Like, and the thing about it is, it's so crazy. So I actually have a course called Earnest Affiliate, where it teaches people how to promote other products and make an affiliate commission from it. And one of the weird things about it, which I actually never talk about it just because I never want to bring up the word MLM or multi-level marketing or network marketing.
Right.
Just because that's such a bad connotation to it. But since we're talking about it today,
Sure.
one of my goals is actually for people to do so well in my course, Earnest Affiliate, that they're going to start promoting Earnest Affiliate as an affiliate, which I know sounds kind of meta, right?
Right.
But then that is how it's going to spread. So instead of me spending money on like advertising or on AdWords, I just want the first 50 students to do really well and then have them not only, you know, be a good case study, good example, but also have the skills where they know how to promote affiliate products. And naturally, they're going to want to promote my course because it's what taught them all that.
Yeah, they made them money. But again, that's something, affiliate marketing is totally, I've kind of looked into affiliate marketing for a while. Affiliate marketing is completely different because number one, you're not forcing anybody to do anything. Everybody watches a video and they voluntarily say, hey, I want to do this. You don't have to become an affiliate of the software or the product. You can just learn it yourself and make money. You know, most network marketing companies make a list and go sell it and recruit it. Affiliate marketing, I don't think, as much as it sounds like it is an MLM, it really isn't, because it's a different type of person you're looking for. You're not looking for your friends and your family and who they know. It's just you shoot it out there, and then some people will grab it, and then they'll run with it. And if they can make some money and be mentored, they're gonna go ahead and share it with others. And it does it on its own virally, without somebody up there on stage preaching and pushing. It's completely different from what I've seen and what I've understood. Because I'm actually kind of looking into getting into affiliate marketing. Because I mean, if you can promote other products, it's kind of what Yahoo and MSN and Bing and all these guys do anyways. If you click on an ad and you make a purchase, like let's say for Best Buy, then they're going to get cut a commission off of that. So, I mean, it's already being done anyways. But this time you're taking an educational course that you learned how to make money with, and you're just sharing it with whoever, you know, and then if some people catch it, great. But you don't got to push these people to go out there and recruit anybody. That make sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I think the main reason why it's not an MLM or like a multi-level marketing is because there's no tiers. You know, it's just if you refer someone, you get commission. And if they refer someone, well, they get the commission and you don't get anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not the one to talk to about this. I'm not too, you know, I don't know too much about it. But, I mean, definitely Pablo knows about it. And I think if it's something to look into, I might look into it myself.
Well, you know what? Just talking to you guys, I can assume that the people that get into network marketing are very driven, you know, at least in the beginning. I'm sure.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Just like most people in the world, you know, some people are willing. They need to be driven and also be hardworking. So I think the three of you guys, the reason why you are successful today and you guys are here is because you guys have the two things. You have being driven and then being hardworking. But at least, at the very least, every single person in network marketing is at least driven
in the beginning. Yeah. And that's, but it's kind of like, and it's kind of like the open mind. It only works when it's open, right? So you have to still want to look for and seek more information. If you read a book, look into seeing if that person has a seminar, because at the seminar you'll pick up more information. And then at the seminar, they'll probably sell you a product. But you know what? You have to always be investing. You always have to be open to learning. I like looking into multiple streams of income. Right now I have three streams of income. I'm looking to grow it to 6 this year. I'd like to grow my income, threefold or 300%, I should say. But I'm always in search of. I'm always looking, because I like affiliate marketing, because like you said, it's not tiered. It's a 50-50 split a lot of the times with products that you're selling. And again, you don't have to go out and recruit. And then if that person goes and sells a product to a friend of theirs, it's a 50-50 split. That's cool. We don't see anything. We don't get anything from it. So there's no emotional attachment. Versus in network marketing, there's always some kind of emotional attachment. I want to be your best friend because I want to make sure you keep showing up to all the meetings, because I need your auto ship kind of mentality. Versus over here in affiliate marketing, it's a little bit different, but you got to always be in search of different methods. I think right now, things that you can do with social media are huge. You can sell anything using Instagram, using Facebook. I mean, you should always be searching for ways to make money with those platforms. Those platforms are a gold mine, and if you can learn to market properly, you can make a ton of money. So you got to just always be aware of what's in front of you and around you, because money is everywhere, and you just got to grab an opportunity, take it, run with it, and you'll make money. That's what David Vu did. He saw a model of drop shipping. He took the time to master it, created a 6-figure income, and then turned around and paid it forward. That's because he did his research. He also came from network marketing, but he knew there was a better way, So I have a lot of respect for David Vu and everything that he's doing, because he's creating a culture of opportunity and a culture of actual people having a chance to win without having to scare off their friends and their family. And it's a better way, because it's true 4-hour work week mentality, man. I want to be able to make money while I'm on the beach or fishing. This guy's living it up, and I'm just like, man, I can't wait for my store to be cracking like that. I want money like that too. I want to be able to travel the world and not worry about anything. 1 hour a day, just check my emails and make sure that, my VAs are putting in the orders or whatever. The goal is to just have more freedom to do the things that you want, and make sure money is no longer an issue. But you got to be constantly searching.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like David's mentality, because, just the fact that he offered me to stay at his place for free, even though he had never met me. While I came here, it's almost, that probably comes from like that relationship marketing background, where he's like, this guy is helping me out so much online with my income. It's almost like an incentive trip, even though, this was me coming to visit my family and get a visa. But, for those who don't know, I had David on the podcast. It was episode 82, and the title was eBay Dropshipping Success with David Vu. And the reason why I had him on originally is because I wanted to kind of pick his brain about his course. And I wanted to see if it actually works or not. I wanted to ask all the hard questions. And then kind of halfway through the course, the interview, I realized, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. He's legit. So I said, you know what? I can 100% see how this system works, because he was like really, really open about exactly what he does. And I liked it so much that I signed up as a student, just because I wanted to see in firsthand, how he does it. And honestly, the main part I wanted to see is because he actually openly shares his store example. So I was like, you know what? If nothing else, I just wanted to log in, see what his sold listings, to see what he's been selling, what categories they are, what niches they are, how much they sell for, and all that stuff. And because I knew he was legit, I saw that it was meant through the course. I started promoting his course as an affiliate. I started recommending it to other people and saying, hey, if you guys want to get started with dropshipping on eBay, 100% take this guy's course. Here's my link so I can get credit for referring you. And that's affiliate marketing, and because it was a genuine recommendation for me. I wrote long, detailed review about what's in the course. I showed like screenshots of what's inside the course. I interviewed him for an hour and asked him all the hard questions. People, who listened to it or read it, they're like, you know what? I trust Johnny. And now that I have all this info, I trust David as well. Let me sign up for the course. And obviously I'm going to use Johnny's link to sign up, which gave me credit for referring, the student to David's course. And David got to see, hey man, this Johnny guy is sending me all these students, and
of course he's gonna love you. The cool thing is that we're talking about how great his course is and all. I think one of the coolest things is the community that he's built within the Udemy course, because he uses the Udemy platform. You can see all the interaction with the students themselves helping each other out. And these people don't even know each other, but they're willing to answer each other's questions. David Vu's a very busy man, so he can't just answer right away. But the community has taken over and has now become, the support system within there. And that to me is amazing, because there's people from all over the world that are helping each other out, answering each other's questions, and figuring this out together. That to me is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm sure it probably didn't take you very long to see that David's a genuine, just really good, straight up guy, man. And I noticed that in him right away. And he's always fired up. I mean, he's always going, and he never stops, and he's just always looking for new ways to help people, and the most fast and most efficient way to do it as well. And then just always looking for new opportunities. I mean, this guy doesn't stop thinking, and he's definitely the mentor that I've always wanted. And sometimes I gotta just step my game up, because I see him going, and I feel bad taking some time off, but definitely speaks a lot for you, to promote him. And I'm sure you notice like that he was a genuine person, and I'm sure he a lot of the people, once they take the course, they realize he's just an average guy like all of us. He's just out there doing it and working a lot of us. Is just what it is,
Well, what I really want to add to this whole point of how David's teaching and his leadership, of how he's able to simplify what most people would say it's complicated, or his way of teaching and his way of doing things turns any business automated. If you think about it, automation is a big thing that David teaches, how to teach you how to run a business that runs itself with the 4-hour work week mentality.
And that's a cool thing, because when you can leverage out your time with like affiliate marketing or drop shipping, one of the coolest things about it is it frees your mind from the stress of the 9 to 5 or the next sale that you got to do, or recruiting the next person. And because your mind, you're actually in the moment, you can actually think clearly, you can hear yourself think, it allows for you to come up with new ideas, new ventures. Because if you can get the financial side of it out and automate it, so you don't have to worry or stress about your business being ran properly, then at that point you've created an opportunity for yourself to come up with new ways to create more income. And I think that's something that most people don't understand about the 4-hour work week mentality. And I see it because David has definitely, I think he's got 3 more courses that he's teaching. He's actually doing and generating more income in multiple ways. But when you can get the money out of the way, and you're not stressing out about running an actual business like I do day to day, it's a different mindset. You're now just thinking, okay, well, I'm making a 6-figure income here, and that's basically on autopilot. What else can I do? And when you ask yourself that question, what happens is your mind starts working and tries to figure out another way to make more money. And that's what you want. The problem is a lot of times people don't have that opportunity because they're so overwhelmed with stress, life, bills, family, everything gets in the way, and the mind cannot think clearly. So to me, I think that one of the benefits of dropshipping with David Vu's course, the way he teaches it, it's very simple. But in the long run, eventually, when you're able to replace your full-time income, it'll allow you to create or think of other ways that you can make money. Or you can just hold on to David Vu because he's constantly thinking of new ways and he's willing to teach. So either way, the goal is to leverage the time so that you can free up your mind and be able to think, how can I make more money?
I like it. So I wanted to ask you guys, one of the biggest kind of concerns people have about dropship on eBay is dealing with returns or like negative feedback. You know, that's something that a lot of people, is kind of stopping a lot of people from starting in the first place. Have you, any of you guys had to deal with either of those things where like someone either, got upset about an item and wanted to ship it back, or they left you a 1-star review because they're like, this came in a Home Depot box and you ripped me off? Like, anyone?
Well, myself, I've had about 500 transactions, a little bit over 500. I just checked today. And believe it or not, out of those 500 transactions, I've only had one neutral feedback, no negative feedbacks. And, the couple of times the customers have complained maybe about the delivery time. Well, I can't control that myself. I'm not the one or I'm shipping it, but I'm not the one that's actually, carrying it there. And, David teaches you ways, how to handle that, I'll offer the customer a 5% or 10%, a return. And sometimes, I'll break even on a product just so I know I'm not going to get that negative feedback. But, I'm going to make that money up, in another future sell. And but as far as returns, a lot of the things have a return label, and you simply I used to think that I was going to get a lot of that stuff. And to be honest with you, I really haven't. I mean, I don't know, Pablo, have you dealt with that a lot?
I actually just got my first person today who was upset because they said, this is not what I ordered. I just sent her a simple email saying, hey, I'm sorry you're not happy with the product that you received, but if you read the description, it's exactly what you got in the mail. Feel free to return it back. I won't charge you the 20%, restocking fee. But the unfortunately, you have to pay for shipping. I'm not going to pay for it. But I mean, other than that, I haven't had. I mean, I have 73 reviews in the time that I've been doing this with David, because I opened up a new store when I started. And they're all 5-star. Nobody's really given me a negative feedback. Nobody's really gotten upset. We'll see how this person handles it. But I mean, like any business, no business has no flaws. All businesses have some, people that are going to complain about it, no matter how much. I mean, look at Apple product, it's a great product, but then you got those people who say, I don't like this product. I don't like the iPhone or what. I mean, you can't please everybody. It's just part of business and it's part of sales, no matter what you sell.
Exactly. Well, me, myself, there's only, I could account for one time out of 200 and some, 200, I'll say 200 and above sales. I haven't really checked recently. I can give you an exact number, but it's above 200. That only had one negative feedback, and that was just based off of an error, not even on my part. It was an error on eBay's part. But the main thing is communication. Just keeping communication and letting the customer know what you're doing and what you're doing to resolve the issue, updating the customer. And that's all it really takes, is just showing that you're taking care of the situation when it happens. And a lot of times, you could even dispute a negative feedback with eBay, showing them that you handle the situation accordingly, how you're supposed to handle it. And that negative feedback that I got, the only one that I had, got taken off based off of my records that I keep for myself. eBay, you can send your emails that you send to yourself, and I had all the proof that I needed. It's just keeping track of what you're doing, and communication is the main key.
Yeah, I really appreciate all of you guys, honestly talking about that, because, as the affiliate, me recommending it, I hear from people all the time. They're like, well, I don't, I'm not going to sign up for this because XYZ. And I always take it with a grain of salt, because usually those people, are kind of the naysayers. They'll always kind of find problems with everything. And, everything in the world there's nothing that's perfect, But I always want to find out, okay, is there a grain of truth in what they're saying, or is this something they're overreacting on? And one of the only complaints I've ever heard about David's course, not a single person's ever said that it doesn't work. The only things I've ever said, people have ever said, was one is it was all about the shipping and the negative feedback, where they said that people who are in the course and that just start out, they make 5 sales or 10 sales, they're super happy because they just got lucky. But then once they get to 50 sales or 100 sales and they get one negative feedback, it destroys their whole account. No one will ever buy from them again, and then it's completely gone. And I'm willing to bet that whoever said that has never even taken the course and has never, dealt with it. So I would trust the three of you who've actually went through this and combined have had hundreds of sales now. And it's good that you guys have actually dealt with the negative feedback. So you can, say it's not that you've just been lucky this whole time. There's actually a system.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there is a system, a way to deal with things, and a lot of the things, you get what you need in the course to just get you going, and a lot of the things you just have to learn on your own. I think most anyone that knows that they're in any business or anything, a lot of things you just can't teach. You have to learn on your own, and I've done that, and I have certain ways that I deal with things, and because of that, I've been able to be successful. 500, I think it's like 515 sales. Last time I checked it early this morning, and out of that, to have one negative feedback and that was removed, or one neutral feedback that I had and one negative removed. I don't think it's bad, and it's just how you deal with things. And like Rudy said earlier, communication with your customers is definitely very key.
Yeah, with that said, I mean, communication is everything. You just gotta learn how to deal with the situation on hand and just move on from it. You don't dwell on it. You just move on from it. And that's a lot of people, what I notice when they do barely start the course, is they get their first negative feedback, and it just seems like it shuts them down completely. Like they get discouraged and they don't want to continue on. But you just gotta teach yourself and have that mentality. You just deal with the situation, learn from it, and move on. And
I think you just gotta not think with a small mind and think with the bigger picture in mind. The bigger your vision, what's one little thing, one negative feedback's not going to kill your store. One negative feedback's not going to hurt you in any way.
I think it used to. I think like 5 or 10 years ago, when that wasn't very like a popular thing yet.
Yeah.
When there was a negative feedback, people would really take it to heart. They're like, oh man, this must be terrible because that's a 1-star.
Right.
But I think nowadays there are so many whiners out there, and self-entitled critics out there for everything, that there's no such thing as a 5-star product without 1-star reviews.
You know what's funny? You say that because you can learn a lot from Amazon. If you go to Amazon, the top selling product in each category is never a 5-star product. Even though the 99% of the people are happy, you still got people that are unhappy. And for that reason, I don't think that's why it bugs me if someone wants to leave me a negative feedback, because I see it on Amazon and it doesn't faze these people. So why would I let a 1-star review phase my whole entire business? I mean, these guys are killing it on Amazon, and you got the naysayers in there too. So no matter what, there's always going to be naysayers, period, no matter what you do.
Like even like with books, for example, that's probably the easiest thing. If you see a book that has 50 or 500 5-star reviews, and then you see like 1 or even 10, 1-star reviews, to me, I'm like, even before I read the book, I'm like, okay, if 50 people thought this book was a 5-star book, what are the chances that this one person saying it's a 1-star book is correct? And they're probably not. And even if they are correct about some things, in the book not being perfect, is it really now a 1-star book? Probably not. They're probably just complaining.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just like to complain. That's it. You can't make some people happy, and that's you just can't. I mean, I had someone complain about I think I sold some color pencils, and someone complained because one of the tips was broken on one of them. I just gave them a full refund. It was, for me, it's easier for me to refund them a few bucks than to have to deal with them leaving me a negative feedback where now I'm gonna make those few bucks on a larger sale. So.
I like that. So it's funny that you mentioned one of your products, the color pencils. Inside the course, do you guys like pretty openly talk about things that you guys sell, or is that still kind of a secret?
For me personally, I mean, I grab everything and anything. I really don't care if it's home decor, accent, rugs, blinds. I mean, whatever I can find, I'm gonna get my hands on. I'm gonna list it. I got what's the funkiest thing I got probably on sale? Actually, I got this cool thing that's like a tea brewing drip system. It's a tree. This is, I think, how did I title it? But it's like a drip tea system. It's exactly what it is, and it has like these hose that go in, and it just like the tea is made overnight and it drips the entire night. And I think that's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, I've never really, most people just dip the bag of tea in the water and that's how they make it. But that's one thing that I found that I never saw anybody, selling on eBay. I just try to get the weirdest things because I think, because here was my mentality when I first started. I want to drop ship things I like. That was my biggest mistake because everything I liked got no views or nobody wanted to buy. As soon as I started listing the weirdest things, that's when people started looking at it and then I started selling stuff. And that to me is like I just sold the meal prep Tupperware because it's the new year. So I labeled it weight loss, Tupperware, meal prep, training, or what is it, plastic. I forgot what I labeled it. And it sold like 2 days later for $39, and I profited like $14 on that thing. And I mean, I just grabbed whatever I can think of. And I drop shipped it from Amazon. And the only reason I got it because I saw today's deals and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll list it. I didn't go on eBay. And I think that's another thing that people need to understand is you don't need to worry about who else is listing the same product on eBay and think, oh, I can't list it because someone else is, there's already like 30 people listing it. If they're not doing the title optimization properly, who cares? You'll probably end up getting the sale. So I saw that and I just listed it and I don't think twice to look because every time I notice, oh man, it's kind of discouraging when you see 30 other people selling the same product. And then there's the one guy who's got like 3,000 sales and like, how am I going to compete with that guy? So if you do that, you're making a big mistake. You should just list whatever and just mark it up 140, 150%. I tend to do 160%, 170%, sometimes 200%. And people buy it. I mean, whatever. I don't care if it's Tupperware. I don't care if it's toilet paper. I mean, if I can make money on it, why not?
Exactly what Pablo said. That was my first mistake as well. Just listing products that I thought that I would buy and what I'm used to seeing and what I'm used to seeing around the house. That's where I messed up. But learning from that, you got to kind of teach yourself. You can't discriminate money, so you can't discriminate what you post. Anything and everything will sell to the right person. There is no right or wrong of what you post. My word of advice is just post everything.
I mean, I'll stick to what they said, everything and anything. I mean, I have colored pencils. I have markers. I have a dog life vest, air mattresses. Just sold the air mattress somewhere to Europe. Ice chest. Sold one to somewhere in Asia the other day. Workout videos. As you can tell, I'm not the most in shape guy in here, but workout videos was killing it on that. And I see something, I listed, and someone's gonna buy it. When Fast and Furious came out, I had the Fast and Furious DVDs, did really good on that, and Star Wars is out right now, so you guys can kind of see where that's going. But anything and everything. I mean, I have no limit to what I list. If it's available and up for sale, I'll post it.
I think it's really cool to hear that from you guys because I went through David's course, and in his next selection videos, he said exactly that. He's like, just list everything and anything. And I almost didn't really believe it. And I think, that's why all of you guys also said you started not doing that. In the beginning, you didn't do that. And you get to learn from your lessons. But he was really adamant. He was like, just list everything. Trust me, just list everything. And in my mind, I was like, no, that cannot work.
That's what I said. I was like, no way, David, that does not work.
But, I think the biggest difference is what's nice about David's model with Justin from eBay is you guys aren't, buying any inventory up front. So if it doesn't sell, it doesn't matter. And the second, you don't even have to get approved by the supplier to sell the product. All you have to do is list it, and if it does sell, then you just arbitrage the price from somewhere else, Amazon or Home Depot or somewhere else, and then you can sell it. So there's no like setup process.
I use everything. Like I like Wayfair. Have you guys heard of Wayfair.com? I dropship Wayfair.com. I drop ship Overstock.com because they got a 5% rewards club. You pay $15 or $5 or $10 and you get 5% cash back on everything you purchase. I use Overstock.com. I use HomeDepot.com. I use Amazon. I use whatever I can get my hands on. And then there's also cool platforms like YouPromise.com where they give you an additional 5%. So let's say, for example, you want to buy something from Lowe's, they give you 5%, and then Lowe's offers you 5%. Now you're getting 10%. Obviously, you don't see it right away, but it accumulates. And then sometimes it's cool. Like in Overstock right now, I got like $12 accumulated. So the next item that I sell from Overstock and I drop ship, if I want to increase my profit, I'll get my $12 there.
I like that. And
yeah,
you know, then that's really different from the traditional dropshipping model that I do, where you have to select a niche, you have to get approved by the supplier first, which you have to do the paperwork, then you list the items, then you sell it. And for us, we kind of have to do the research, and we have to kind of pick the stuff that we know is going to sell, because we can't, you know, it's a complicated process, which is nice in the long run because we're establishing relationships with the vendors and getting better pricing, so we can actually sell it for, you know, we don't have to mark it up and try to sell it that way. We can sell it at retail price, and we can still make a profit from it and all these great things. But I do really like the eBay model that David teaches as a way to first get started, because it seems so much, it really is almost like a no-brainer, where you just list it, follow his directions, optimize the titles, do all the things that he teaches how to do in the course, and then you can kind of see what works, you know, and you're not spending any money, just spending a little bit of time.
At first you do got to spend a little bit of money, and the only reason is because when you first open up your PayPal account, if you're like completely brand new, PayPal holds your money for 7 to 10 days. You know, so you got to use your own cash to, you know, to purchase and drop ship, and then 10 days later, until you become an established seller. My favorite is when you're able to like pay with PayPal, because then I can just pay the product with PayPal, and my profits already stays in my account, and I use PayPal. I mean, that's cool, man. I love it. I love the drop shipping model, man. It's real cool.
PayPal just recently added cash back too, 5%. So that's another great thing that, you know, PayPal.
I'm glad you told me, because I had no idea.
There you go. And actually, it sounds like with all these different like rewards and credit backs, you can at some point, you can, you know, not only right now you're using it as additional profit, but if money ever did become a concern where like people became more price conscious on eBay, even if you sold it at normal kind of retail price without the crazy 200% markup, you can still make 10-15% in profit just from the rewards. So that's really cool. Speaking of profits, can I ask you guys, how long did it take you guys each to make the first sale after you sign up for the course or read through the videos? And, you know, if you don't mind sharing, like on average, how much are you guys making per month in profit now?
For me, myself, this is Rick. I think it took me about a week to make my first sale. And, you know, I didn't know what to expect at first. I didn't know how long it was going to take or how long it wasn't going to take. I just knew that David was like, list, and you will get some sales. And first came one sale, then came another. And then my first full month, you know, I made a couple $100s, I think. It wasn't too much. And then it started to grow a little bigger the second month. You know, I started making a little more money. And today, my biggest month, I think I brought in about $1,700, I think, in profit. And that's profit, you know, and that's not bad, because, you know, a lot of people don't make that in a month, or some people, you know, it takes them 2 weeks to make that. And, you know, that's part-time for me, you know, putting in 60, 70 hours out in the work field, something, you know, coming in part-time, that's definitely good income. And I'm looking to keep growing that.
1,700. I'm trying to get to that level, Rick. But right now, I'm currently making 8 to 1,200 averaging. And you know what? For some people, that's rent. 1,700. That's some people's mortgage. I mean, that's what else can you ask for? That's unbelievable. It's great.
my business is kind of scaled up and down, only because, like I said, I preoccupy myself with other ways to try to make money. It's gone fluctuated between $800 a month to $3,200 a month. I mean, $17,000 in 1 month was the most sales I did on eBay, and I profited about $3,200. But that's why I was marking up extremely high. Obviously, like I said, sometimes I don't put in the effort because I'm looking for like affiliate market. I'm looking for other streams. But that's why I'm waiting for the VA course. I mean, if you guys don't know, I'm stoked about that, because if I can just hand off somebody to handle 500 to 700 items in my store, and I don't got to worry about it, then I can see more of a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month income. And it's leveraged 100%, you know. So I'm just waiting for that. Honestly, I've kind of neglected my store here and there, but sometimes I'm back on it right now because I'm like 2016. Okay, this time I got the VA course is coming up, so I got to make sure that I'm ready for it. You know.
I'm definitely excited for that. Just the thought of having items posted in your store while I'm doing my 9 to 5, hoping to push away from that by the end of this year. That's my goal, and just I think that VA course is another blessing.
I know Rudy can't wait for that VA course. I hang out a lot with David, and Rudy's always trying to get the inside scoop, and I know it's coming soon.
And that's awesome, guys. I really, really like appreciate all of you guys sharing this all so openly, honestly. I think one question that people might have, because most of my listeners are either already location dependent, they're traveling around, or they would like to be one day. Is there anything about this eBay dropshipping model that requires you to be here in the U.S.? Things like accepting returns or anything at all?
You know what? I don't get out of the U.S. too much. I only travel within the states here, and what I do I just carry my laptop, and I do my orders if I go away for the weekend or a few days. I just deal with my returns, on my laptop. But it's just like if I was at home, but I'm just somewhere else, on vacation.
Well, I guess so. The return. So if someone returns something, would that go back to the company that you ordered it from, or would that go to your house?
Comes to me. And the beauty of it is I get 100% of my money back. If I charge a restocking fee, I still make a little bit on the sale, believe it or not. But I don't, and I'm going to be very honest with everybody. I don't think I've dealt with enough returns to really be able to speak on that. And all my sales, I've been here in the U.S. and I've been able to deal with everybody, and nobody's really shipped me anything back for me to say, hey, so I don't really have the experience with that. So it's kind of hard to give you a good solid answer on that. Just so people out there that are listening can understand that, hey, you're asking me. I haven't dealt with it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, I only had one negative feedback, and that wasn't even a return at all. That was a whole different situation. So I can't really speak on that myself. But as I feel like as many sales as I had and not have one return, even if I do get a return in the future, the benefit speaks for itself. I mean, so I can't really speak about returns myself.
As nice as would have been for you guys to all have experience with that, I mean, it kind of just shows out of these couple hundred orders you guys have combined that nobody's actually returned anything. So it's probably not as big of a deal as people think. And the average cost of items, I mean, your cost is probably less than $50, right? So if that does happen, and at worst comes to worst, you tell the person, go ahead and keep the item. We'll still give you, your refund. You lost $50, and the customer's happy, and you don't have to deal with it. But I would say for most people, you'll know at least somebody in the U.S. where you could say like, okay, I send it back to this address, and then you can, kind of ask them nicely, like, hey, can you return this for me? Can you ship it back for me?
Yeah, I mean, most of the things, they do come with a return label. You'll contact, whoever your source is, Home Depot or Sears, and they'll just either, if the person hasn't received the item yet, they'll just tell them refuse the package, or you just have contact the carrier and have them turn it around, or just you'll set up a time for the carrier to come and pick it up for them.
I have a funny story. Actually, I dropship on Amazon too, because I list on both Amazon and eBay. And I actually did get a return. It was on Amazon. I dropshipped from JCPenney. JCPenney was my supplier, but they sent in the receipt. The guy got the product, and he returned it because he didn't think that was his product, because he paid. I think I sold him. It was like a NutriBullet generic brand. For like $80. He thought it was a NutriBullet because I put the title optimization on Facebook, on Amazon, and he got the package. He saw it was labeled to him, but he saw how much the actual thing was. It was like $20. And he actually shipped it back to JCPenney, returned to sender. And I remember Amazon sent me a message stating that there was an unhappy customer, and I read the customers. This is not the product that I ordered. I paid $80. This one said $19.99, but the funny thing is, so I called JCPenney to try to resolve that issue, and they're like, "Oh, we already credited the money back to the account that it came from because it said return to sender." And I was like, "Oh, cool." So I just reimbursed his money back, and that was the end of that. So I mean, I don't think it's really that big of a deal,
Yeah, it wasn't a return on my part. I had a couple of customers stating that they never received their product. But then I would call my supplier, and usually, not usually, the couple of times that did happen, they would just send the customer another product free of charge. But the next time they would ship it, they would certify mail, have it shipped, and nothing out my pocket, and customers happy. It's again comes down to communication.
All right, so kind of at the end of the day, I don't think this is something to hold people back from not starting. I think there's always going to be excuses. There's always going to be reasons to not do it or not start. But, it's one of those things where every single business in the world is going to have ups and downs. There's going to be learning curves. What's nice is not only is David very helpful, but also people in the discussion forums. When you join the course, you get access to the private member boards where people ask questions and tons of people answer. So not only do you get these 3 guys helping you out, but you have all the other members helping each other out as well. So even if it's not covered in the course, even if it's kind of like a one-off situation, I promise you somebody will help you. So if you guys want to join the course and you want to use my link so I can get credit, you can go to the show notes. This is episode 102 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. And I think I'm actually going to add David's course to my recommended resources page, just because I honestly do think it's a great way for people to get started, because it's so much faster to start making, your first couple sales. And, I'm not saying David's course is not going to make you a millionaire. It's not going to make you, $100,000 a year starting out. It's for most people, you'll make a couple $100, $800, like, these guys on the low end, or a couple $1,000, when these guys have a good month. So, I'm definitely going to add them to my recommended resources page. So you can go to johnnyfd.com, click resources, and it's going to be up there.
You don't have to pay for networking, event meetings, or trainings. You get trained from home 100%. There's no additional overhead that's important for people to know, because people think that there's going to be additional. Nope, there's not. It's that simple, man.
So no, the hidden cost. That's awesome. So Rudy, Pablo, Rick, thank you guys so much for being on the show. Do any of you guys use Twitter or social media, Instagram, or anything that you want to shout out?
You can find Pablo Perez Facebook. My credit restoration company, metrofundfinancial.com. And actually, we started a podcast, like I was mentioning to you earlier, Ghana's Network. Check it out. We're interviewing entrepreneurs and cool stories like this. So feel free to look me up, and look forward to being in contact with you guys.
Myself, this is Rick. You guys can find me on Facebook. I'm one of David's friends. You just search his friends list, Ric Ramirez, or you can find me on Instagram, Ricky Ricoso. And I want to thank all you guys for listening in, and definitely hope you guys get started, and look forward to seeing you on the platform.
This is Rudy Vera. You can also find me on Facebook. Again, you can find me through David's Facebook page as under his friends list under Rudy Vera. You can look at myself under Rick's page too in his friends list. Either or, you'll find me.
And we want to say thank you for having us. Definitely.
Hey, thank you guys so much for being on, for being so transparent. Thank you, Dave, if you're listening to this. And I'll see everyone back in Thailand. This is my last couple of days here in California. So peace out, everyone. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.